and we're going to keep those questions coming. We've got Ann holding for us from Macon. Hi, Ann.
Hi.
How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Good. What is your question for us tonight?
Yes, ma'am. Back in 2000, my husband died. But when he was alive, he had credit cards. I had credit cards in my name. He had me down as a user also on his credit cards.
Okay.
When he died in 2000, I lost everything. I lost our home, our land, the business. I lost everything. So I didn't have no money to pay for anything, and we didn't have any. It turned out we didn't have any insurance on his death like we thought we had. We had the wrong kind. So I never paid none of the bills, and I never heard anything from anybody. But then all of a sudden, where I work now, evidently somebody had taken me to court, and I was not aware of any of that. And evidently there must have been something put against me, and they garnished me. And I had no clue. And so one day I was talking to friends at work on what they were making and what I was making. I couldn't figure it out. So I called my company, and they told me, oh, you have a garnishment against you, and we're taking that out. I had no clue about any of that. So what I want to know is, how can that be done? And then also, since then, I've had people call me on the phone saying they're lawyers and saying they're getting ready to take me into court, and they're going to garnish me, and they're going to do this and do that. And I got scared. So the credit cards that I have now, because I'd say within the last 5 years, I've gotten more credit cards.
So Ann, let me jump in there. I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't want you to run out of time. So your question for Alex is, like, what's your next step? What do you need to do since you got notice of the garnishments?
Yeah, and was that even...
Well, first off, Ann, thanks for calling in. You know, this happens a lot when you're in a household and you have two sources of income, and unfortunate things happen, like your husband passing. It gets very tough when the income shrinks. Those debts stay the same. Now, as far as 2000, first off, you would want to talk to an attorney. Some of those debts, the statute of limitations may have passed, so that might not be legal to collect on those. But if you are struggling in the debts of your own that you owe, filing bankruptcy would just kind of kill two birds with one stone, because it can be very costly to go back and litigate those old claims. There are ways to renew the debt, and also, did you get adequate notice? But if there's other debt against you and that's dragging you down too, it might just be the easiest option just to file a Chapter 7 or 13. But I'd be glad to meet with you. I think in your situation, you definitely want to meet with an attorney and see what your options are.
Yeah, they would have had to put her on notice about the garnishment, and would have had to serve her to get the underlying debt established.
100%. And another question is your address changed? There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. It may have been, although you didn't get notice, it was a legal form of service. So that's a complicated one, and I'd love to help you with.